What is going on, YouTube? Reverse John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Viva La Vinyl Classic album review, and it does not get much more classic than this, folks. The 1997 masterpiece, Urban Hymns by the Verve. Absolutely love this album from start to finish, but just for the start alone, Bittersweet Symphony, one of the greatest opening tracks to any album ever. And I mean, just when you hear those strings come in, which they stole from the Rolling Stones, by the way, there was a whole lawsuit about it. Richard Ashcroft and the gang did not make money from that song for a very long time, but that's a whole separate story. Bittersweet Symphony, without the strings even, is an amazing song. The structure of it, it's very simple, E-A-D. I've actually played like a bluesy acoustic version, and it still holds up. The strings, of course, give it this whole majestic vibe, though, and it really has that bittersweet sound to it, where it's got that angsty kind of bluesy thing going on, but then the beauty of the strings and the lyrics to it are just amazing. You know, it's a bittersweet symphony, this life. Try to make ends meet, try to find some money, then you die. Pretty dark stuff, actually, when you really dig into it. And there's some dark moments on this record. It gets even darker here and there. Yet the album overall, it always makes you feel like, you know, just on this grand scale, like this macro version of life, like looking down on us. And you really feel, especially through Richard Ashcroft's vocals, his passion that comes through just from song number one on. But yeah, Bittersweet Symphony, one of my favorites of all time, just amazing. Then you've got Sonnet, which is a really great kind of mid-tempo rocker. And then The Rolling People, track 3. Oh man, this thing rocks so hard in like this throwback psychedelic way. And it's really cool. One of the standouts on this album is Nick McCabe, who had previously left the band, and then they brought in a guitarist to replace him, but they decided they needed his skills on guitar to really give the songs what they needed. And when he came back, they were a 5-piece, and I think that's what makes this record so special, because it's the third in their discography. Their first 2 albums were good, but nothing remotely this great. It just has that chemistry, that 5-piece chemistry when they went from 4 to 5. Something special about it. And The Rolling People, man, is just one of those tracks that's just unbelievably good, like just as good as Bittersweet Symphony for my money. And then you've got The Drugs Don't Work, one of the greatest ballads of all time on this album. Just, man, when you really listen to the lyrics, it's like you want to slit your wrists. It's sad, but it's beautiful. The chord progression is amazing. Again, really nice use of strings. And just when Richard Ashcroft comes in with all this talk of getting old, it's getting me down, my love. Beautiful, man. And I just have to say, if you're not a fan of the Verve, like if you're not into this band, the way I got into them, I was a little late in the game, I'm sad to say. Like I didn't really get into this album until 2004, maybe. This came out in 97, but if you like Oasis, you know, you're going to love this band. If you like Radiohead, you're going to love this band. This band is kind of meets in between those two, like the alternative weirdness of Radiohead on the psychedelic side, and then the pop, rock in your face catchiness of Oasis. And definitely Ashcroft's vocal does favor Liam Gallagher a little bit. So I think it's like the best of both worlds, and this album does not let up. There's not a weak track on here. Catching the Butterfly is so cool and groovy. The bass groove on that is so awesome. I'm just gonna read off some of the other highlights. I mean, I don't skip any songs when I listen to this, by the way. Space and Time, Weeping Willow, Lucky Man was another hit. That's an amazing, great, well-written song. One Day, This Time, Velvet Morning. And it's cool how, like, there will be a fast song and then a little bit slower song in between. So you always feel like, even though some of the songs sound a little samey towards the end, it's still 13 tracks is not too long on this record. I might shave off maybe one track, even though I love Velvet Morning, man. I love that song too. But the closing track, Come On, is one of the best closing tracks ever. I mean, this song, man, it's like 7+ minutes, and the first half of it is just a great rocker, kind of traditional Brit rock alternative song, but then in the middle of the song, man, it changes gears to where it gets like full blown. It's just ultimate catharsis is the best way I can describe it. I love this song, and it feels like Richard Ashcroft is like possessed in the best possible way. It's like the ghost of Jim Morrison or something, but even more intense. And just the stuff that he does on that song and on the Rolling People, by the way, it's so cool. He's like doing these guttural things, and it's like stuff no one else could come up with. That's why I think this is such a special album. And if you haven't had the pleasure of listening to it, you must do so right away, because if you only know it by Bittersweet Symphony, that is not enough, my friend. You've got to listen to the whole thing. And if I had to pick two favorites, it would be the opener and the closer, Bittersweet Symphony and Come On. Although, as I said, like the Rolling People and the Drugs Don't Work are also just amazing songs. 10 out of 10. If I had to give this album a rating, I'd give it a very strong 9 out of 10. And that's all I have to say about that. So let me know in the comments below what you think. What would you rate the album? What are your favorite tracks from it? And the Verve, man, I wish they did more. Richard Ashcroft has done a lot of solo albums. I think he just released another one recently. But his solo stuff doesn't have the magic that they did with this. Even their album they did in the 2000s, Fourth, doesn't quite make it to this level. I don't know if they'll ever hit this peak again, but I do hope that the Verve do more in the future, because, man, this is such a magical record. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you. We got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, top 100s, so much more. Thank you. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.